Hey, hello everybody, welcome back. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. I appreciate the support, and I hope you guys doing well. And honestly, I hope you guys being safe out there. Please be safe out there. We are right now in a crisis. A lot of things going on out there. I cannot mention the name because I'll get in trouble with YouTube, but you guys know what I'm talking about. Just be safe out there. And yeah, I wish everybody stays safe. Now let's get into this video. So today's video is gonna be a build video of a skill, the artillery turret, which I never used before. So it's gonna be a skill damage build where you can do so much damage you don't have to use your gun, and you can just rely on your seeker mine and also your artillery turret to do the damage for you. This is gonna help you a lot as a solo player to do anything like control points, mission on heroic difficulty, and yes, any other activities, right? This build is so fun to use. The first time I saw this build was back when the update came out, Warlords of New York, and I saw my friend IMPERIAL doing this on the live stream. He had this build. I said myself, I have to make this build look so much fun, and that's where the build idea came up from. So we're gonna be using the artillery turret as the main skill of this build, and we're putting a lot of damage, but the seeker mine also is gonna be hitting so hard. We get around 2 million to close to 4 million damage with seeker mine, and the artillery turret we have around 3 million all the way up to 6 million sometimes. That's the max I got, to 6 million damage with the artillery turret. So crazy damage. So let's get into this build, right? So this is gonna be the build, guys. I am using mostly, as you see, yellow on this build, besides one blue in there, which is not part of this build. I'm gonna change that once I get a better knee pad. Now this build is consistent of a lot of synergy of talents to make this damage work. Even without these talents you still do a lot of damage, but when all of these talents proc around the build, right, you get 6 million, straight up 6 million damage with this artillery turret. Before I go into the talents, I want to go real quick over all of the pieces and show you what I have. So let's start off with the mask, right? So on the mask we have the China Light Corporation. So we're gonna be using 3 China Lights on this build, and by having 3 pieces of this on the build we get 15% explosive damage, which is essential for this build, right? And then 10% skill haste and 10% status effect. The core attribute, of course, is going to be for every single one of them skill tier. That's why we have a max of 6 skill tier, because this is a skill build. And then attribute on this mask is going to be 10% skill damage and 8.2% skill haste, with a mod of 10.5 skill haste. Moving to the chest piece, we have another China Light. This is going to be the second one. On attributes, we're going to have 7.8 skill damage, 10.5 skill haste, and a mod of 10.6 skill haste. And then on the holster we have the first Honeydew Corporation brand set on this build. We're gonna have 2 of them in this build, and by having 2 you get 10% skill haste, and second bonus is gonna be 10% skill damage, and that's why we have 2 to get those, because those are probably what I'm looking most in this build: skill haste and skill damage. The attribute is going to be 6.2% skill damage and 11% skill haste. Now right here you see, like I said, I hit hard with this build, but once I get this higher, because I don't have anything higher than this on my recalibration station, once I get to max, which is 10%, this build will hit a little bit harder than what it does as of right now, right? The backpack is going to be another China Light. On the attribute we have 10% skill damage and 9.3% skill haste, with a mod of 11.4% skill haste. And the talent is going to be Perfect Shock and AU, and yeah, I'll explain that in a second also. For the gloves though, we have only one wyvern wear on this build, and it's gonna be on the gloves. By having one wyvern wear, which is all we need, we get 10% skill damage by equipping one of them. And then the core attribute, of course, skill tier, and then attributes 12% skill haste and 10% skill damage. This is basically the god roll of this build, It has exactly what I want, and it has max rolls on all of them, right? So this is the best piece I have on the build. And then moving down for the last piece, which is going to be on the knee pads, we have the second Hana U, which is 10% skill haste and 10% skill damage, as we said from the bonuses. In the attribute, we have 10% skill damage, and then the second attribute is going to be 7.7% hazard protection, which is not part of this build. So this is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a better knee pads, and I've been farming. You see, I've been farming trying to get one. I got another one in here, but I cannot find one. I need one that has skill haste, and then I'll roll skill damage in here, and that's gonna be the perfect version that I want for the knee pads. It has to be Hana U, it has to has skill haste, and then I roll this skill damage on it, and that's it. That's gonna be what I want on this build. But for now, this is what I rock with. Now, before I get into the talents in a minute, I want to explain one thing about the Hana U and why I would recommend, I highly actually recommend you get them on the knee pads and holster. Because if you get them on this top tier right here, the mask, the backpack, or the chest piece, it's not gonna be that great for the build. And why is because they come with the empty offensive mod slot, and that's why I would recommend go with the China Lights brand sets on top, and then Hana U on the bottom, right? Just because the mod slots only comes on the mask, backpack, and chest piece, and all of the Hana U mod slots are offensive, and we do not need any offensive attributes on this build. Now let's get in how we're making so much damage and all of these talents. So the way this build works, right, we do have a few talents working in here. Now let's start off with the big elephant in the room, which is going to be the glass cannon. I honestly did not know about this. I did not pay attention to this, but after I pay attention, it makes sense. Shout out to Jason 1016, which was on my live stream. He told me, and he asked me if I think glass cannon would work on the skill build. I told him I don't know, because I never thought of it. And then so we tried it on the skill build in the live stream, and yeah, we found out that it actually works and it gives more damage to your build. Because if you pay attention, right, like I said, I didn't pay attention before, the talent description reads all damage you deal is amplified by 25%. It doesn't say if it has to be weapon damage, because if you go, for example, on another talent, it has weapon damage, right? For example, on the focus, on the spoiler, and you know, amplifies total weapon and skill damage, right? Now another option, and that's what I was farming for because I didn't have it yet, which is skilled. So skilled is a talent that will give you 25% chance of basically resetting your cooldown to give you your skill back faster. Is one of the best options, but I don't have it on my recalibration stations of right now, so that's why I was farming for it. And then came out Jason on my live stream, told me about this talent, and now yes, I just want this talent. The second talent on the gears is going to be on the backpack, and it's called the Perfect Shock and U. So applying a status effect to an enemy, increase total skill damage and repair by 20% for 27 seconds. And this is in here status effect, we're gonna get it from our actual artillery turret, because it has that bleed effect. It will apply to your enemy with this backpack right here. Now you could go with the exotic backpack, a Costa Go back, which I have and I tried. Overcharge is very good though. Once you activate it, it does a lot of damage. I actually got more damage out of this backpack. I got close to 6,500,000 with this backpack when it was overcharged. But the thing is, I have a lot more consistent damage with this backpack right here, right? The highest I got with this was 6 million. The highest I got with this exotic was 6.5 million, but it's less consistent damage compared to this backpack right here, and that's why I'm going with the China Light named backpack. Now more talents that doing damage. Let's go with the shotgun first. So this is a name shotgun, the send off, right? You can actually craft this, and it has a two perfect talent: the perfect distance, 100% optimal range, which we don't care too much, but we care about perfectly rooted. While equipped and in cover, all skill damage and healing is increased by 30% for 15 seconds. The buff is lost when exiting cover, can occur once per 60 seconds. And then comes to another named weapon, the Surge, which is a high-end named rifle from the LVOC, and it has the perfect talent, perfect spike. Headshot grants plus 25% skill damage for 8 seconds. And yeah, that's how I am activated all that damage, because of the synergy of all of these talents. Now for the specialization, of course we have to go with Demolitionist, because Demolitionist is what allows you to get the artillery turret. So if you don't put Demolitionist, you're not gonna get this. That's it, that's simple as that. And artillery turret is basically my main focus, like I said, skill of this build. And yeah, and also it comes with the 10% increased explosive damage for this specialization, right? So yeah. Now just to show you guys some numbers real quick before we go, I'm gonna put my artillery turret right there. We're gonna go and stay in cover, shoot that, and then do the first one. Right, we see some damage, we got the bleed now, and now just click and see we get right there. That's the damage I get. Like I said, 6 million, and that's my max, and that's with everything activated I have right now. I have rooted activated right now, I had the spike activated, and I had the talent on the backpack activated, right? So I do have a potential of 6,100,000 damage, but most of the time I get around 4 to 5 million. And but honestly, that's good enough. I'll kill any NPC on a solo heroic with this artillery turret. Now the secret mine is not my main focus on this build. I'm mostly focused on the artillery turret, but we can try and see how much damage we do with the secret mine, right? For the secret mine damage, let's get in cover to activate that spike. We have to shoot the artillery just to get the bleed. Now we have the bleed, let's activate spike again, throw the secret mines, and we should get, as you see right there, some higher numbers, some low numbers, but you see 5 million my max. It's gonna be mostly like 4 millions and 3 millions, to be honest with you. 5 million is gonna be the max when I have all of the talents activated. But yeah, still that's incredible damage. Now to finish it off, right? So if you take a look at the closest secret mine that I have on the build, it's gonna be 20.3 seconds cooldown, health of 199,000, and then damage of 2.5 million damage, right? And then that will get higher once you get all the talents activated. And then number of mines is going to be 10. The blast radius is 2 meters, and on the PvP damage is 457,000 damage, which is quite high, to be honest with you. And basically 2 of these mines can take any agent now, basically. But yeah, so the artillery turret, we have 9.3 seconds cooldown, which is insane, right? And I can get it so fast. The duration is going to be 300 seconds, health of 5.5 million HP, damage of 3 million damage, and yeah, that's going to get higher. It's going to double when I activate all of the talents. And then ammo is going to be 10, blast radius 6.8 meters, and PvP damage 772,000 damage. This is basically can one-shot a majority of players, and right now, because majority of players are going all glass cannon, not a lot of armor. So basically you can shot most of players in the dark zone with this build. And yeah guys, that's basically my build right there. I had so much fun using this. Let me know what you guys think of the build. Do you guys use this? Did you guys know about the glass cannon doing more damage to skills? I had no idea, I just found out about this. But yeah, I love it though. So yeah, let me know what you guys think of this. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, man. If you enjoy, hit me with a like, I would appreciate. If you're new to the channel, subscribe for more content of the Division and more videos coming soon. Yeah, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.